57% in a week using no more than the H4 and the 15-minute. I was going to cover the 1 minute on this video, but it would just be absolutely insane considering it also involves the 300R that we found out in another backtest. Very simple strategy, very easy to do, and if you need any additional help, follow the links below. Right then, we have the week loaded. So for context, we always want to go and have a look at the higher time frame before we do anything. And I tend to, at the start of the week, look at what the previous weeks had been doing. So a strong upward trend, which is good. And we've run into this little mini order block. Now, I don't think there's resting orders from over there at all. Who's going to leave orders on for 4 years? Nobody. But it's an area that other people are looking at. So it's always going to play its role, potentially. Drop down for daily and just see how we ended up, okay? Very, very strong week. And then we started to pull back a little bit, all right? So H4, see if there's anything which we can find for potential entries. And no, sometimes we get weeks like this. So there's nowhere really to target, nowhere to look for, apart from possibly this. And what we're looking for is order blocks effectively. I would have said up here, but we'd rebalance like immediately. So we're going to look above, if we can find an above. Here we are. So what would price likely run to? We'll run to there. We're already here, so let's just put that on the chart. Okay, so these are the H4s. Make sure that's on the higher of the two. There. And then we can just assess it. Oh, right, okay, so we've actually broken through both of those. So they are old news, and we now need to find another H4, which looks like it's up here. Which, to be fair, on the chart is miles away. So that's fine. We've basically got all of this to look at, which is absolutely fine. We're going to analyze this on a lower time frame, but remove these H4s because they are indeed not relevant. So drop down to the 15 and start deciding what we need to do. So we had this big red news event on the Thursday, and price came up and it just slightly swept the high. Then we came down, we rebalanced this inside bar, and we slowly moved back up. So the way that I see it typically is the market has come down, pushed up, broken that high, come down, and we're just dancing in this sort of range at the moment. But this is kind of telling me a little bit of a story where we've got all the wicks on the top. Yes, we've got wicks on the bottom, but we've got bearish movement. So the range which I see is actually the top of this candle to the bottom of that candle. And that's what I was recommending for people to look at. You know, are we going to break the high? Are we going to break the low? And then below us, you know, where are the 15s? Where are the unmitigated 15s? There aren't any. There's literally none. So where are the ones above? There is one above. There's one right here. Okay, so there's a 15 which we could run to. And there's again nothing until we go back to the H4. So it might be a case of sit and wait, which is often the case. Now, for this one to be taken, I would prefer if price was to press up and close just below this range high, then break into there within the 15-minute time period, and then close back within this range. All right, so the method in which I trade, there are 4 different entry methods, and there's a 5th which can be bolted onto any of the 4, which is a confirmation. The drawback of using a confirmation is that you are going to be risking a lot more of your risk reward ratio. So you're going to be sacrificing it. You improve your win rate, which I did do, you know, from the start of this year, but your risk reward ratio is battered. So you can just take trades off of pending orders if you need to, or market entries when you get a rejection. So there's the 15, nothing too exciting about it. So we're just going to click on and start the week. All right, so a nice push up, pull back again. So no opening gap. And a push up and a pull down. So what I'm going to do on this back test, so we'll be basing trades off of the 15, and then at the end of it, I will then drop down to the 1 minute to see if any of those entries could have been refined. It will make it quicker, it will be easier to digest, and hopefully you'll just learn a little bit more, and you'll be able to figure out ways where you can do speed backtesting. So when I do backtesting in the evenings, it normally takes me about 5 minutes to do the day. But I still get all the relevant information I need. So yeah, there's no M15s below here. I'm gonna have to just have a look for M15s down here, which are unmitigated. There's one. We're taking the strength from this, continue to break the high, so that's a good one. That's been mitigated. There's a horrible little one down here, which to be honest, I don't think would ever hold. Then we've got another one down here, and maybe that, or this down at the bottom. So essentially, what we've had is a 15 sweep from up here at the moment, a sweep and a close back in the range. So we can really kind of start looking for trade entries, all right? Especially if we get a break below here, which would be like an internal break, an internal shock. And I'd be more happy with this one as well. We are in a downtrend. I think we had chalk up here, and then a press down. Yeah, we definitely did. So technically the wider market is moving down. We've had this very slow sort of steady move upwards. There's a lack of liquidity within here. It's been very balanced. So, you know, this is the internal range high. I'll just write that down. So we've got that in our mind. And we've just had a sweep. All right, so I'm very interested to see the 1 minute actually. I'll save, you know, any 1 minute trades for the end. But generally speaking, yeah, that would be your signal, a break up and a press back down, and then this. So you'd probably be setting an order off of this, which if it hasn't come back to by the time we actually get chalk, it probably won't. And then it'd just be a case now of trying to get in on a trade. So we'll go down on the 15 and see what there is. But generally speaking, any target from this should be down at, you know, somewhere around here for the 15, which looks like a hell of a distance. Let's have a look. But the market literally moves zone to zone. All right, so it's 100 pips. It's not, you know, it's not heard of. It just looks like a beast of a move at the moment. So anyway, let's click on. So we get kind of, now we get chalk on the 15, and we've got a order block here. So if we can get an entry, just doing this, we'll just do it off the 0 for now and use a worst case scenario. And our target is going to be, no, it's not going to be there. That's the range. That's going to be the 15. Okay, so we're not targeting boss anymore with our trades because we've evolved a little bit since starting to do that. But this will be our trade, a 15-hour trade. So if I can drop down to the 1 minute in a bit and get a really awesome trade from there, we will. Which is looking all right if we get it. Don't know if that tagged. It didn't, but you'd probably, to be fair, 3:15 in the morning, you might get tagged into it because the spread's been a little bit wider. But let's click on anyhow. Oh, I was going to say that's leaving behind an order block, but nah. But it has now. So again, not very good. I don't like it when the wick is the nearest thing to us. But we've got an M15 forming there. So again, if we can get into a trade, it would be like this. And I'll keep this one on and see if there was any obvious movement on the 1 minute, which you could trust. Price had come back into the sort of like the range area, or the structural area, let's call it. And if this one tags and works out, looks like it'd be about 10, 7, still decent. Anyway, let's click on. We've got a, it's an inside bar there. I should have that indicator on, but there's an inside bar here and it's still bearish. So I'd be happy to mark that up for a trade. So these are just pending orders that you can set during the week as they're occurring, especially if you're pressed for time with work. you can do that. And in the group where there's a link below, basically we call these out as soon as we see them. We call them out. So if you are working 9 till 5 or anything like that, then you should have enough time to be able to place those trades on your chart. And we're all working together to try and get the best results. So there we go. That's looking decent. You know what? I don't remember it coming down like this, to be fair. This was only a couple of weeks ago. And it's coming down to this, which is cool. Okay, we've chocked on the M15, okay, so we've broken up there. But we haven't broken a low, so just beware, that's internal. Doesn't mean that we have to start taking longs, but if we do, we'd be looking at that, but I wouldn't. It would be counter trend. I want a tag into this. Got it, which is cool. Let's just move that along. So it's a bit like a day like today. It's the 15th of July. Like, have a look at the charts. It's it's 10 to 1 in the afternoon. There's nothing to do, so I might as well backtest and just do a video for you guys to show what we do on down days. Like, you still got to sharpen your sword, even if you're not using it. I'm guessing that was news. It looks like news. And boom, profit at least on this one. Yes, profit on this one. So 7.23. So that's a decent win. We've still got this available, and we've now got this as an order block as well. So yeah. Ooh. This 15, I'm just gonna have a look and see what it looks like, because we've had that sweeping candle. I think I identified that in the last video. So it was a sweeping M15. Okay, so counter trend order block right there, but fine to get involved with potentially. And a sweeping 15. So you'd be aware that there's potential to go long. Yeah, it's reacting from this 15 here. So guess there was a potential, at least short term, just to feed it to here. Possibly, I know that being taken, possibly up there as well. So yeah, you could be trying to get long there. I won't mark it on because at the moment this is counter trend, even though we've had a sweep and a close back in the range, but it is counter trend. So I try not to trade counter trend. Like, if you'd have taken that and take profit here, you'd be fine on a lower time frame. There, we'll take that one off because we don't need it there anymore. We've already had the trade. You know what? I've got to keep it on because we're going to be marking it up in a bit, aren't we? Let's just do this. There we go. So minor pullback. And there. Now we're back in the correct direction. So correct direction is on. There'll be a trade on. So back pro trend. And again, we'll narrow these down. But yeah, place it down to there, because this has been taken now, and this is the new sort of structural low. So if it starts dancing around here, you'd cut the trade out, but really it should be going down to the next one. And that was the really small one. So if that goes, really, you should be targeting that. This is a very minor level. And did I say that you'd be, yeah, we've missed a trade here. So you'd have got a very clear loss here if you'd have set a pending order. So my bad, I missed that while clicking through. But you'd be taking it nonetheless because it's a 1 to 9. So I'm just going to very quickly mark that up as a loss because we know that already. So be in this trade. Okay, it's broken that like it's nobody's business, which is good. Let me change this up as well so it doesn't confuse. Right, so down here you've got, minor pullback. You've got a minor pullback there. Not particularly fantastic, but the dojis tend to work all right. And we'll do another one here, like that. See, just narrowly missed out there from a potential short. Ooh, we've now got another one, sorry. Probably say that. Get rid of that because we missed it. And we've again got another potential right here. Just from a 15. And this has been mitigated, so I'm going to get rid of it. Would have missed that as well. And now it's not imbalanced, so we'll get rid of it. But we have this one. All right, so this was that crazy day, that 300R day, which, the video will be tagged below. So I went through this on the 1 minute and it was like a 300R day. Absolutely crazy. And here we go. We get a sweep and a close back in the range again. All right, so be aware of that. There was a order block down here somewhere and we swept and closed back in the range. And this one, we swept and closed back in the range. So yeah, that makes this potentially a little bit weaker, but we'll take the trade anyway. I'm pretty sure we covered it in the video that it recovers from here. So let's go not based on hindsight, go based on what it's telling us. Okay, so this strategy is pretty much mechanical, but you can still use your brain and market experience. So a break and a close back in the range again. Oh. So anyway, that would be a loss as well. Still got these to look at. Looking at this, do we have a good enough length to go? So just for that, it's a no. But on the 1 minute, that could be a yes. But on the 15, it's a no. So again, down to the next 15, which is here. And initial target is actually going to be here, which is low. So that's again looking all right. That one was all right, wasn't it? That was a winner. So let's just mark that one quickly before we move on. And yeah, so we can get this off now. Just extend it over. So this was that trade. Get rid of that. That one didn't enter, but I would class that as rebalanced now because of the time that's gone past. So we've got so far 1, 2, yeah, 1 winner, I think. 2 winners, sorry. All right, so we got 2 winners and 2 losers, I think. Yeah, 2 winners and 2 losers, and one which looks like it's probably going to lose as well, but we don't know. So it's gone into that order block, which at the moment looks like it should be counter trend. Should have taken something from it, I guess. And we're now getting good drops. So pushed up into here, came down, internal break. There's an order block there. So, but there's a potential there. And once we get this break, we've got another one there. And now we've got another one here. So yeah, lots of opportunities. Sometimes there's too many opportunities for you to be able to profit from, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. Ouch. Yeah, you'd exit that trade right there. Like you wouldn't take that to a full loss. So this one didn't work out. This one you would exit. And this one we would be in, it looks like. But probably exiting at this stage. Yeah. I've personally changed my bias, but I'll try not to. There we go. Should have done. So that was also a loss. Don't worry about these losses stacking. It will happen from time to time. Then we got this. I want to check the H4. Right, it's not going to reveal too much, don't think. So looking at this, we have that channel forming. And yeah, nothing really. That's internal. If I mark up this H4, it's internal, so I'm not going to. So yeah, nothing too much clearer, apart from we're potentially looking to drop down now. Oh, we got into that area, which is cool. Did that sweep? No. Very close. What time? 1:30. Don't know. Some people will be in, some people will be out. I'll be in with my broker, but I use probably the tightest spreads broker that there is. Oh, target, by the way. Bare minimum, that one, 6.48. Then if that goes, really, you'd be holding it down to here, which would feel a little bit like there's something there. And then I would be targeting down here. So let's put in the full length. There's a wick, but I'd want to target that. I'd want to line it up. Oh, should have built it actually. So third formed, and so is this one as we got the body break. So we'd be tagged into this, we'd be tagged into that. I'll add them on in a minute because it's going to get too bunched up. We've got a break there as well, so there's an additional one just formed. It can get a little bit messy and you can get into multiple trades at the same time. Don't know if we're tagged there. We're not. We are now. Oh, gonna be out. So we're out of that one, so I'm just going to put a little X on that straight away. Thought we were going to be out of this one as well then. And I'll probably get asked the question, would you place on both of these? Yeah, if I was feeling confident. Like, I know that you can be over leveraged on positions, but in reality, the strategy is phenomenal. So you don't have to worry too much about it. Someone there. All right, it looks like it's going without us. But we'd be in one up there. So let's get that one at last. So there's one. That'd be quite juicy. And then there's another one right here, isn't there? So I'm going to get rid of the one that didn't work out, declutter it a little bit. Get that down to target. 17. All right, so these are good. So yeah, don't worry about over leveraging because you got, if this wins 26 plus 12 plus 17 plus the winners that we've already got, which is like 8 and 11. So don't worry too much. But you will see that sometimes there's days, like we've had discussions about this recently. Sometimes you just go through days where there isn't a trade to set up. Like today, I just haven't seen anything on the chart. Like nothing. It's boring. Bit tricky with this wick. But I'd be tempted to place off of here if there's an opportunity. Oh, didn't need to worry. Hey, here we go. Let's drop down. Yep. No. Oh, it's dancing around. Okay. All right, we'd now be in this to go short. And again, I don't really think that there's anything holding this up. There's no order blocks with integrity there. A bit like the one at the start of the week over here. Strong push down, recovery should drop off. And when it does, it should just go straight through. But we'll see. Where are we? What did I say? Happens every time. I just want a TP from this now. Whoa, is that taking us out? Close. And oh my days, we're getting to the end. One more candle. Right, you'll either have to go back and check, or subscribe and wait until next week when we do the next week. See if we actually TP from these. So, if you close out at the end of the week, which I would recommend, this one would end up with 2.39. This one would end on 10.6. This one on 7. And this one on 18. So yeah, not too bad. Just as a 15, it's not bad, is it? So if we just tally those, you know what? I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to cover the 1 minute. Let me know if you would like the 1 minute covered to see what we could have turned that into. Bear in mind, there's a video below which will show you this day alone, which was disgusting. There was 300R. So, you could always go into all of these yourself and check and see what you've got on the 1 minute. And I can guarantee you it will be much higher than that 57R for this week. Let's put percent because it looks better. But yeah, it's relatively simple. The strategy is easy, but I totally understand that sometimes you need your hand holding. So if you want to trade with me during the week and interact with me on Discord and, jump on Zoom calls and stuff with me, apply to join me. The link's below. See you in the next one.